Hi everyone, Radhe Radhe. In this video, we're going to be doing chapter Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 12. So far, the Mahabharat war has ended. Queen Kunti said her prayers. Bhishma Dev consoled Yudhishthir Maharaj and said his prayers to Bhagwan Shri Krishna and then passed away. Then Krishna Bhagwan came to Hastinapur. And then he left Hastinapur and he came to Dwarka and everybody welcomed him very gloriously and happily. So let us call out to Bhagwan Shri Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Dear Bhagwan Shri Krishna, please help us use these verses of the Srimad Bhagavatam to come closer to you. Please help us learn. Please teach us how to love you. Please help us. Please help connected our disconnected soul to you. Um, please help us follow bhakti. Okay. Let us read the verses. Okay. Birth of Emperor Parikshit. So now Krishna Bhagwan is in Dwarka. So, but Parikshit Maharaj was born in Hastinapur, I'm guessing, because he is Arjun's son's son, if I understand correctly. 1. The sage Shaunaka said the womb of Uttara, the mother of Maharaj Parikshit, was spoiled by the dreadful and invincible Brahmastra weapon released by Ashwatthama. This was spoken in the first few chapters. But Maharaj Parikshit was saved by the Supreme Lord. 2. How was the great Emperor Parikshit, who was highly intelligent and great devotee, born in that womb? How did his death take place? What did he achieve after his death? 3. We all respectfully want to hear about him, Maharaj Parikshit, to whom Shukdev Goswami imparted transcendental knowledge. Please speak on this matter. 4. Sri Shut Goswami said, Emperor Yudhishthir administered generally to everyone during his reign. He was exactly like his father. He had no personal ambition. Father Pandu, I guess. He had no personal ambition was freed from all sorts of sense gratification because of his continuous service unto the lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna. 5. News even reached the celestial planets about Maharaj Yudhishthir's worldly possessions, the sacrifices by which he would attain a better destination, his queen, his stalwart brothers, his extensive land, his sovereignty over the planet Earth, his fame, etc. I'm confused about the worldly possessions part of it. 6. O Brahmanas, the opulence of the king was so enchanting that the denizens of heaven aspired for it. But because he was absorbed in the service of Lord, nothing could satisfy him except the Lord's service. 7. O son of Bhrigu, Shaunaka, when the child Parikshit, the great fighter, was in the womb of his mother, Uttara, and was suffering from burning heat of the Brahmastra thrown by Ashwatthama, he could observe the Supreme Lord coming to him. 8. He, the Lord, was only thumb high, but he was all transcendental. Thumb high. He had very beautiful, blackish, infallible body, and he wore a dress of lightning yellow and helmet of blazing gold. Thus he was seen by the child. Ah, okay. So this is what I had spoken because I'd heard in one of the first three chapters when they were talking about this. Then I had remembered this lecture that I'd heard where they were saying, where the Maharaj was saying that even though Parikshit Maharaj had direct darshan of Bhagwan Shri Krishna, but the Harikatha that he had towards the last 7 days of his life, that was even more powerful than having direct darshan. That statement just blew my mind. I was like, wow, that's how powerful Harikatha is. That's how powerful what we're doing here is right now, right? Like just reading. Okay. 9. The Lord was enriched with 4 hands, earrings of molten gold, and his eyes blood red with fury. As he loitered about, his club constantly encircled him like a shooting star. 10. The Lord was thus engaged in vanquishing the radiation of the Brahmastra, just as the sun evaporates a drop of dew. He was observed by the child, who thought about who he was. 11. While thus being observed by the child, God, the supersoul of everyone and protector of righteous, who stretches in all directions and who is unlimited by time and space, disappeared at once. Okay, he protected him and then he disappeared. 12. Thereupon, when all the good signs of zodiac gradually evolved, the heir apparent of Pandu, who would be exactly like him in prowess, took birth. 13. King Yudhishthir, who was satisfied with the birth of Maharaj Parikshit, had the purificatory process of birth performed. Learned Brahmanas, headed by Dhaumya and Kripa, recited auspicious hymns. 14. Upon the birth of a son, King, who knew how, where, and when charity should be given, gave gold, land, villages, elephants, horses, and good food grains to the Brahmanas. 15. The learned Brahmanas, who were very satisfied with the charities of the king, addressed him as the chief amongst Purus and informed him that his son was certainly in the line of descent from the Purus. 16. The Brahmanas said, "This spotless son has been restored by the all-powerful and all-pervasive Lord Vishnu, God, and in order to oblige you. He was saved when he was doomed to be destroyed by an irresistible supernatural weapon." 17. For this reason, this child will be well known in the world as one who is protected by God. O most fortunate one, there is no doubt that this child will become a first-class devotee and will be qualified with all good qualities. 18. The good king Yudhishthir inquired, O great souls, will he become as saintly as a king, as pious in his name, and as famous as and glorified in his achievements as others who have appeared in this great royal family? 19. The learned Brahmana said, O son of Pritha, this child shall be exactly like King Ikshvaku, son of Manu, in maintaining all those who are born. As for the following Brahmanical principles, especially in being true to his promise, he shall remain exactly like Ram, the son of Maharaj Dashrath. 20. This child will be a munificent donor of charity and protector of the surrendered, just like famous King Shibi of the Ushinara county. He will expand the name and fame of his family like Bharat, the son of Maharaj Dushyant. So basically really glorified him. 21. Amongst the great bowmen, this child will be as good as Arjun. Wow. He will be irresistible as fire and unsurpassable as ocean. 22. This child will be as strong as lion, as worthy of shelter as Himalaya mountains. Wow. As worthy a shelter. He will be forbearing like the earth and as tolerant as his parents. Wow. 23. This child will be like his grandfather Yudhishthir or Brahma in equanimity of mind. He will be munificent like the Lord of Kailash Hill, Shiva. He will be resort of everyone like the Supreme Godhead Narayan, who is even the shelter of Goddess of Fortune. 24. This child will be almost as good as Krishna by following in his footsteps. In his magnanimity, he will become as great as King Rantidev. In religion, he will be like Maharaj Yayati. Wow. Okay, they're keeping on going, glorifying how good this child will be. Wow. 25. This child will be like Bali Maharaj in patience, a staunch devotee of Lord Krishna like Prahlad Maharaj, a performant of many Ashwamedh sacrifices, and a follower of old and experienced men. 26. This child will be a father of kings who will be like sages. For world peace and for the sake of religion, he will be the chastiser of the upstarts and the quarrelsome. 27. After hearing about his death, which will be caused by a bite of snakebird sent by a son of Brahmana, he will get himself freed from all material attachment and surrender to God, taking shelter of him. So that was already talked about here also. 28. After inquiring about proper self-knowledge from son of Yasdev, who will be great philosopher, he will renounce all material attachment and achieve a life of fearlessness. 29. Thus, those who were expert in astrological knowledge and in performance of the birth ceremony instructed King Yudhishthir about the future history of his child. Then, being sumptuously remunerated, they returned to their respective homes. 30. So his son would become famous in the world as Parikshit because he would Pariksha is exam, because he would come to examine all human beings in his search after that personality whom he saw before his birth. Thus he would come to constantly contemplate it. him. 31. As the moon in his waxing fortnight develops day after day, so the royal prince Parikshit very soon developed luxuriously under the care and full facilities of his guardian grandfathers. 32. Just at this time, King Yudhishthir was considering performing a horse sacrifice to get freed from sins incurred from fighting with kinsmen. But he became anxious to get some wealth, for there were no surplus funds outside of fines and tax collection. 33. Understanding the hearty wishes of the kings, his brothers, advised by the infallible Krishna, collected sufficient riches from the north, left by King Marutta. 34. By those riches, king could procure the ingredients for the 3 horse sacrifices. Thus, the pious King Yudhishthir, who was very fearful after Kurukshetra, pleased Hari, God. 36. Lord Sri Krishna, God, being invited to sacrifices by Maharaj Yudhishthir, saw to it that they were performed by qualified twice-born Brahmins. After that, for the pleasure of relatives, Lord remained a few months. Oh, so he came back. 36. O Shaunaka, therefore, thereafter, the Lord, having bid farewell to King Yudhishthir, Draupadi and other relatives, started for the city of Dwarka, accompanied by Arjun and other members of the Yadu dynasty. Okay, so he went to Dwarka and accompanied by Arjun this time. Okay, so that's it for this video. Wish you a day filled with lots and lots of Bhagwan Shri Krishna's grace and love and love for him. Wish you a beautiful day. Radhe Radhe.